This is the Morning Express on Lila 98.3 FM. The Morning Express. Good
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. It is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. We're back from the break and it's time to continue conversations. This is Mainland Focus, a segment of the Morning Express that is all about you. It's basically an avenue for you to air your thoughts, speak to the millions of people listening to us at this time, create new perspective, set new agendas, and open up our minds to angles that you think we should be exploring. And for those of you that would like to talk about some of the stories that we have analyzed early in the day during Trends in the Papers, you also have the leeway to do so because this is Open Mic Thursday for a Mainland Focus. That means that you're not restricted to any of the stories that have been discussed earlier. You can bring up new stories, developing stories, whatever you find to be important to you. You can raise it for the 2 minutes that would be allotted to each individual calling directly into the radio station. We're streaming live at this time as well on Facebook and on YouTube, so do well to join our live stream and start dropping your messages. The messages we got earlier in the day, I'll read those before we start taking in new messages. So go to our Facebook and YouTube platform and join our live stream and start sending in your message. As always, before we start to take public opinion, we usually like to get Fuad's perspective for the day on Mainland Focus. Maybe he would like to reiterate some of the earlier points that were made, or maybe even talk about a story that we didn't have the chance to discuss whilst we were talking trends in the papers. So let's talk to Fuad, get his focus for the day, and then we open the phone line and then talk to you as well. Fuad, welcome back. What is your focus for the day?
Well, it has to be the issue of flooding in Lagos when it's rains. Right. But again, I think we have to take the conversation beyond Lagos. Lagos, again, we just hope that the government would do the needful. Again, open up some of these drainage channels, build more if we need to build more, get them more reinforced. There's also a problem, say, about fences and walls. People have to be very, very careful, say. In different parts of Lagos, I've seen fences falling off on their own now, just dropping on their own. In a school very close to us here in Antony, I saw that the fence came down. That's a very big squeak for students, and not just for students. Just as the rains were starting this year, just very close to us, one Accra woman lost her life because the fence where she used to fight the Accra came down as a result of the rain that fell overnight. I've also seen in different parts of Lagos now where fences are coming down on their own, because of the waters make them very big and just come down. So people have to be very, very careful where they stand, how they walk, and around fences now in different parts of town. But I also think that the movement has warned that the rains are going to come very heavy this year. Are we planning for the flooding that is going to come in different parts of the country? As these rains are coming now, the dams are getting filled up.
Yes.
And if you get to a point where the Lado Dam in Cameroon, for example, what happened the last time? Are we planning ahead? Because when these dams are filled up, because it becomes a problem, waters will be released. And we're going to have this flooding come again this year, most likely. Are we planning ahead? What are we doing? Because now that the rains are coming, we should also put our minds on that these floods that will come from release of water from the dams will eventually come again this year. Are we ready? Are we prepared? What are we doing to move people to higher ground? Do we have centers where people can move? So we should plan ahead. The rains have been producing an American issue. I like that the governors are already talking about it, most likely they'll speak with the president. The senators are also doing what they need to do. But I think that, at the end of the day, my mind tells me there will be a political solution to this problem. But again, in doing that, Nnamdi Kanu can also come into this conversation of nation building peacefully. Some of the rhetorics we know of him in the past are questionable when it comes to advocating for justice in a peaceful manner. Whether anybody likes it or not, it's just what it is. You can't be encouraging people to pick up arms against the state and you don't expect the state to react. We can all come into this conversation of nation building in the most civil and peaceful manner. Nobody wants Nigeria to burn. There's no other country we have. Since we have all agreed that we're Nigerians, I understand that there's a need to talk about equity, fairness, and justice. Just yesterday, there's a conversation about creating one more state in the South-East. See, I 6, North Central 6, Northwest 7, Northeast 6, Southeast only 5. That's wrong. Even though I believe that the more states you have does not necessarily mean more development for you. But at least on the sake of equity, fairness, and justice, let's have more. At least one more state into this conversation in the most peaceful manner. So that we have to look for political solutions that peace can come to the Southeast. But he also has to advocate for equity, fairness, and justice for the people of the Southeast in the most peaceful manner going forward. So those are my thoughts.
Fuad, thank you very much. We appreciate app and text message as well as our streaming platform both on Facebook and on YouTube. As always, for the sake of those you probably did not catch majority of the stories that we analyzed during trends in the papers and would be interested in talking about them, the papers reported across the board that NERC would be raising tariff or will have risen the tariff for Band A consumers by 1.3% amid calls for reduction. So it has gone from 206 naira per kilowatt hour to 209 naira per kilowatt hour. That's how much you will be paying as a Band A electricity consumer, and it took effect immediately. So you most likely will start seeing that increment, and now we're announcing it to you. The Senate did reject a motion to probe the security funds that were used for yacht and others, a lot of costs, but then the Senate disagreed by the former service chiefs. Also, customs intercepted about 1.6 billion naira worth of rifles and military from Turkey. The minimum wage conversation is on the front pages again, and the Labour, they're quite uncomfortable with the involvement of the governors. They believe that the governors will hijack the process. Else might go as low as 5,000 naira as minimum wage if it were up to them. And so he's saying this is the table of the governors. And also, there's been conversations about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We have senators from the Southeast pleading with the president to please intervene and see to the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They do not mind if his release is accompanied with certain conditions that he has to meet. And we have the EFCC accusing public servants of diverting MDAs on spent allocations. We have Ola Olukoyede, who is quite upset about some of the revelations that he has seen, especially with the case files that he has on his table, the misappropriation of fund that is going on, and MDAs moving on spent allocations to private accounts. Mind you, all of these are accusations from the EFCC, because you are innocent until proven guilty according to the law of the land. Well, that's more or less the summary of the majority of stories we analyzed during trends in the papers. Let's take the backlog of messages we got on Facebook whilst we were doing the analysis during trends in the papers, and right after that we'll go to the phone line. On Tʀᴜɪᴜ Michael elections, following the heavy flooding that was experienced by citizens in every part of the country, especially in Lagos State, despite the earlier warnings that was given by NIMET. As I was taught in school, a leader is someone who gets things done through other people. How can you engage people to clear drainages and gutters only to leave the refuse cleared by the roadside? When it rains, it goes back into the canal and the drainages. A job or work that is contracted without proper supervision is tantamount to doing nothing. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu should step up his efforts towards ensuring that people living in Lagos are safe. We need his urgent attention at Ijagemo community before flood will wipe away the people living in the community. Temitope Onotoye from Ijagemo community is rejected as the major cause of worrying state of sewage blockages and flooding of homes. Appearances and convenience. The negative effects have been fizzled away by the activities of barrow pushers who go around the street buying the unusable electronic parts and irons and the metals at minimal prices. This is no longer a problem. Recommendations. The Lagos State Goma, LASMA, Kai, etc. Their job will be to legally enter the gutters, the sewage pipes, the canals, and etc. to clear them. This is also some form of job creation, rather than just bemoaning the issue because they think they can't make much money from the people cleaning the sewage and stopping the flooding. Tochukwu Adeli Thompson from Obanikoro, thank you very much. Tochukwu Adeli further says, good morning, Olukoyede's EFCC just raises red flag or blows alarm without any prosecution and sanctions until he locks up your messages. Let's go to the phones now. On 3 now. 0913-6000-430, 0913-6000-430. And if you'd like to send text messages or WhatsApp messages, you can do so to that number as well, 0913-6000-430. For phone, 0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning. Good morning. We can barely hear you. Your connection is really bad.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is the
All right, welcome.
I've always been an advocate of peace, whichever way, and no matter how much it will cost us as a country, as a nation, we just have to adopt it. See, why when I think about the insecurity in the north, I am not a fan of this kill them all agenda, kill them all policy, kill them all. I don't believe in these people, and even when they are not Nigerians, they are a member of ECOWAS. If there is any way you can negotiate your way into peace, if there is any possibility to negotiate our way into peace, we should adopt it. Peace is cheap, but then it will cost us lesser than what we deploy using military tactics. You know, the release of Nnamdi Kanu will bring peace to this region, to our region, and to the division between the South. Let's adopt it. Let them release him, and again, if the North, if some part of the North wishes that, okay, you release some of us, release them too, so that there will be peace. If there is any agitation over there that, oh, there is this particular one in the prison too, release them. If you are releasing this one, release all those other ones too. Let's see, if it will release. Because one, some people now will say, okay, release this one, don't release this one. We are deploying, we are going to kill them all. Can you allow your children to join them and kill them all? Because there is, you are about to waste some life if they really want you to release their own too. Release them, let's see how.
Thank you for your insight, if that is your insight. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Steve.
Good morning. How are you? It's been a while. Have you spoken in a while? No. Where have you been?
I'm here now. It's very high.
I understand.
People are joining.
I'm excited.
You know, this slot that we are having in this Lagos. See, we should not blame people. We should not blame them. That's where our problem generates. We should look into that. It's not blaming people coming out blaming. I know that blame them because they are the benefits of this problem that we have. For so many months, years, no government official, no government agency go there to party to play it. Look at cholera is rampant now. It's rampant everywhere. Cholera in Lagos State. They cannot party. They cannot play the dustbin. Why call benefits of this problem that we have? Dustbin bin. But when you put dustbin, no party, no blame people. They should blame you. So all blame should go to government. They are the author and they are finisher of this problem that we are having today.
Okay.
And we are feeling
at the doorstep of the government. I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not speaking particularly to what you said, but I don't think it's fair to dump the entire blame at the doorstep of the neighbor for dumping their refuse in the flood. And I think Lagos State government sealed the building for doing that. Although there's been reactions that why seal the building, why not just fine the individuals that perpetrated the act instead of sealing the entire building. But that's not necessarily the crux of the conversation. And it goes clog the drainages, there's flooding, and then we blame only the government. Of course, they have their own inefficiencies and do our own part in making sure we stay in a clean and safe environment. All right, let's all play our part. That's the message I'm just trying to get out there. Let's take more contributions. 0913-6000-410. That's how you call us. For text message, WhatsApp messages, you can send it using the number 0913-6000-430. I'm back to the phones now. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Madam Steve. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning, sir.
We thank God. especially with regard to the performance of the Tinubu administration, was led in all ramifications and the president, Mr. Tinubu, judging the fact that he presided 8 years in Lagos, the richest state in the federation. And some people say, well, he did very well. Others say the whole thing was a mere grandstanding. And that is what is happening in Nigeria now. The government is grandstanding. They are not performing to the benefit of the people. You know, this is just, the situation is very embarrassing. The level of corruption is unacceptable. We cannot accept it. We are not a banana republic like in South America. This is Nigeria, the biggest leading by example. We just number one for nothing. You know, Nigeria has become almost a leprosy.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for your call. Please let's try to stick to the 2 minutes that have been allotted to each of us. Again, I don't enjoy abruptly cutting people off because I like you to get your thoughts out there, but please work with the 2 minutes that have been allotted. I implore you to do so. Thank you very much for your understanding. Let's take 2 more phone calls. We're back to Facebook after that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Babalola. Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Morning, sir.
Yeah, Peter Monster from Sogolu.
Welcome.
Let me quickly say that the judiciary, through their court, passed judgment on Nnamdi Kanu issue. I think about 2 or 3 courts, if I'm not mistaken, they granted freedom for Nnamdi Kanu, so let him go. There was even a time Nnamdi Kanu was awarded some money, and the executive did not obey that. See, the long and short, as far as I'm concerned with Nnamdi Kanu's issue, he's just a prisoner of conscience, a political dependent for me. And let him remember, if I were him, I would take on a free Mandela. What was a free? Peter Botha did not free Mandela. It took FW de Klerk to come and free Mandela. So if Buhari and Tinubu refuse to free Nnamdi Kanu, there will be a government that will free Nnamdi Kanu. For me, even if he dies there, I will die one day. Everybody will die one day. As well as say something. He said death is death, irrespective of where you die, how you die, and when you die. As far as everybody will die, even if he dies there, it doesn't make any meaning to anybody. So for me, let them hold Nnamdi Kanu. The whole world said, like my brother has said. I mean, agitation for freedom of it's not an issue. Call them and negotiate with them, and you refuse. Hold Nnamdi Kanu, let them hold him. Please, Nnamdi Kanu, Mandela came out one day after 27 years of finally Lagos State. 2011, we had flood in Lagos that killed a lot of people. And 13 years now, Lagos State cannot find solution for flood. Where is the mechanism of Lagos State City? Oh my God. Is it in terms of the money they accrue? Or is it in terms of the number of miscreants they send on the road that makes Lagos mega?
Thank you for
calling.
Good morning to you, sir.
God bless you. My name is Prince Wyatt. Waiting you from our ward office.
Welcome.
This is number one. I want to be 50. 80. But you told your girl you're getting to the gutter. Kill your gutter till I follow down to Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ in Oyo State. I want to actually see the local Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ if they clearly to the grand imam of Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ by when they say we are going to make them that informing him, especially in Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ. And the way they are drumming now, if the guy is not taking, it will restore to the religion war. I don't want it to happen because the chief imam is the head of Mary, the religion body. Traditional ruler is quite different between religion. So for me, I want the governor to do something fast for Bahana in Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ. If there was no more problem in any part of this country, this is what I'm doing this morning. My dearest Babalola, God bless my country, Nigeria.
And you too. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
This is Engineer Neve. A chief imam of a central mosque of any big town like Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ that has fallen out. The order elected him, appointed him, and the very Oba was the owner, are the owner of this mosque, and when the imam was going to Hajj operation, he should be able to confide in his Oba that the whole person from time to time, because there is a way you will not, chief imam is not of Ogbomoso is not chief imam, is answerable to the Oba. Oba de Balero Gbogbo. So there is no reason be a religious war at all. I'm a son of Diwadi. When you have quarrel among all the sects of Islam, it's my father that will settle the quarrel before he died.
Thank you.
I'm a Christian tourist.
Yes, I'm with you. Good morning. Please introduce yourself.
This is Charles from Ojo.
Welcome.
Yeah. So I will start from the environmental issue we have in Lagos. Here I will talk about my area here in Ojo, where you have these people cleaning up the roads. You sweep up everything down to the gutter. And the dates, especially Ojo, they should do something about it. That is for that. And you coming back about Unando, that part of the country is very cool, is very peaceful.
Thank you very much for your call. We appreciate you. Let's take a few WhatsApp messages. We have Good Morning Mainland Radio, Tʀᴇɪᴅs from Maryland. Talk of EFCC and Oᴘᴇɪr as boss. As talk is cheap, my advice is that he should resign if EFCC cannot bite under his watch. Tʀᴇɪᴅs from Maryland sent that particular message. All right, thank you very much. We have a message here. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. The government of Lagos State should please through all the drainages in Lagos as if it was during enough of the lamentation of damages caused by the flood from the government. The innocent pupil that died in yesterday's flood is quite unfortunate. May God project and chasing shadows. They should be disbanded and let police take over their job. They will do it better than the so-called EFCC. Benjamin from Shogunle. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. We have Good Morning Mainland Group. My commenting on what they're guilty of. Who is assessing the Senate? It should be done politically, but with a very stringent condition that I have here. Good morning, Sage Babalola and Fuad Said in the studio. My name is Steve Umwabueze from Badagry. Steve says, Nigeria, by seriously getting involved in the negotiation for the release of Nnamdi Kanu of killings of personnel of armed forces and other security agents in the country. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Thank you, Steve, for your message. We have Good Morning, Sage. The illegal importation of arms is alarming. More than 47 billion naira in totality. You did not introduce yourself. Babadi, I think that's your name from past messages. But thank you very much. Is it because of the citizens are not speaking against the previous increment, or is it because people did not protest? Honestly, the government is taking us for granted. Raf from Satellite Town sent that one. Good morning, Madam Sage. The brutal agitation of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu and his team wasn't well thought out, and it does not represent the spirit of freedom fighting. It's very obvious that all the less privileged Nigerians are highly marginalized, irrespective of their tribe and religion. Mr. Nnamdi Kanu should be concerned about the maiming and unwanted destruction of lives and properties will not peace reign in our land, and all Indigos live peacefully without back to Facebook. That's how I would rotate the conversation. Dara from Fagwa, thank you very much. I don't think I can probe the ex-service chiefs. Is a constant reminder that Nigerians, they're all looking for an easier way to go through the wall instead of saying enough is enough. Firstly, this could increase the level of cholera outbreak. Let the government ensure drainages are clear. Refuse discreant, which is sold to steel companies, they should be checked. The increase in money for electricity will continue to choke the poor masses. Why won't people focus on getting their source of power elsewhere when they know there's no stable server of the mechanized vehicle and carry it away or of Lagos? It's open rules and regulation of public engagement on media platforms. By all means, 2 minutes you have to discuss it. You can also reach us via our WhatsApp and our text message in the studio via the number 0913 6000410. We're also streaming live on Facebook and upon X today, an X space that would be hosted today by Mainland 98.3 FM on Twitter, that if that's what most of you still know it as. Youth participate in national development, who are able to say no to decisions and policies that they are uncomfortable with, because conversation with brilliant minds who would be joining us on that X Mainland FM at Mainland FM by 8 p.m. You will of course get notifications of the X space. So p.m. today, Thursday, the 4th of July 2024, as we discuss youth involvement in national development. It's back to the phones now. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
I will concentrate my talk in Lagos because you know Lagos is most populous, and that is why in many populous city allocation. But by and large, let me say something. The barbaric
I can barely hear you.
I think my speech in Lagos, because Lagos being a populous city, and we need to talk to ourselves. Especially here, I remember, our ex-governor Passoman did a lot of the Lagos State today. You see, let's have a law. Because you don't drop anything anyhow, or practice on the city should not be allowed. And this thing goes a lot. Look at the school children. In my own premises, I need to challenge some of the school. They don't something on the road anyhow. It's animalistic. It should not be allowed. And if you have someone go to get of what they talk push out, you can allow them. You understand? So if you don't talk to ourselves, if you don't discipline ourselves, we are the one that is causing this issue. And the government to stand up on this issue. On the issue of the military.
Hello. Good morning. How are you? I'm very well, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Thank
Welcome.
I don't like the way these people talk. And the Southeasterners, they have the way to speak. And Gumi, people write an undertaking for him. Personally, the guy talks. You see, when can put fire on a nation or anything. And Nnamdi Kanu is in detention now. He's begging for pardon and all of that. I don't hate anybody. Let me make it very clear. But Nnamdi Kanu's attitude here, this drug issue, food, drug, stage, things are tough. Drugs are skyrocketing, food are skyrocketing. Not fixing because of the cost of spare parts. The federal government, they should come and block his brain. Let me come and put brain into Nigeria.
All right.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning.
No, I'm calling from Ikeja.
All right, welcome.
Our system can actually do for a country beauty. I will ask, what will be the cool progression? And people who, one of the greatest apparatus, borders, where different strangers invaded, and where we have all kind of crime rates. Our citizens kept dying every day, have leaders. And the people we thought they are leaders, they don't care. Insecurity cannot stand for the rights of the people.
Thank you. The deliberate attempt by successive monetary and fiscal policy managers or to keep blaming the IMF, the World Bank or other international agency continues to baffle me. I shudder from fear or some sort of shock that all the economic teams the government have had over the years have refused to know that there is no economy of a country whose inflation rate and unemployment not building on a failed foundation to fail again. First, while the inflation rate is increasing, the unemployment rate must be decreasing and vice versa. While the unemployment rate is decreasing, the inflation rate must be increasing. The international agencies know this and advise Africa on their ideals and shy away from the needed inverse relationship of inflation rate and unemployment rate. For Africa to discover it by itself, to enjoy the essence of it, they should not be blamed at all because they also have their own interests to protect. Tʀᴜ Thompson, all right, thank you very much. Steve in Daily Alau says, illegal importation of arms is everywhere. Who are those involved in this evil? May God have mercy on us. Thank you very much. Benjamin E. says, thank you very much for your message. We have a message here, Basil. Thanks to the authority for arresting the area boys that were intimidating the pedestrians, collecting 100 and the... Okay, let me just move to the next paragraph. I'm sorry. If you can resend that, I would appreciate it. Or let me try. The government should please sit up quickly. Secondly, I'd assume that's create more states in the southeast. Chikabende from Trade Fair, Lagos. Thank you very much for your FM. It's unfortunate and becoming very worrisome. It's time for the government to reveal the identity of individuals or the people importing these weapons into the country before they set lapse on the part of EFCC, which all still boils down to the corruption in government, because the government itself is not showing any form of transparency and accountability. When removing from office one of the people working with him for diversion performed 1 year in office. God bless Nigeria. Timidope, thank you for your message. Facebook or WhatsApp platform, please, for my sake, I would appreciate if you can keep the messages very brief. It's quite difficult. On my open mic today, let me start by commending Gege Joshua for the Supreme Court and back to the federal should release him since he's dissociating himself from the violence going on there and agreeing to whatever political solution there is. If President Tinubu constantly blocking the drainages, can the media and the government take it upon themselves to hammer this around the clock and not only when the rains are approaching? James Ogbona from Oshodi, thank you very much. We have another message here. Christopher F. Young says, good morning everyone in Mainland FM. About the ammunition being imported, can a common man who is struggling to buy one paint brought these ammunition and they give it to the jobless boy to go and fight their opposition? Let President Tinubu release the names of those that are sponsoring. Let us take care of ourselves, especially against this cholera. Let us fight it by keeping our environment clean and washing our hands with soap and clean water. Morning.
This is Mr. James calling from Agbado Junction.
Is Mr. who?
I would want all Nigerians to, with one voice, at an unwanted destruction of property that is taking place at Kenya. Okay, when you look at what regards that situation, it's just all about these people are living in one too. So one of our regular callers in this station, he used to say that there was a time Buhari spent 100 days in office. He said that 100 days of Buhari is better than 15 years of PDP. Meanwhile, at that point, Buhari has not even appointed minister. I mean, he has not even started work. And we cannot say the truth because this one we call him a man. I want every one of us to start saying the truth. Because we are going to be colonized in the future, especially our children and our grandchildren. Just like that potato endangering the future of our children and our grandchildren. And that is why I say, let us say the truth, what they are doing wrong. So as to avoid the unfolding persistence because of this bad governance that we are seeing here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your call. We appreciate you. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Fine, thank you.
People like Nnamdi if Buhari be offended now and then before he left, and you hesitate them. They didn't annoy you now. So why do you want to make enemy with somebody who is the other man then? If you look at it in tribalism, people that's why they didn't unbanding. You understand? Later. You know? Some of us that are talking on phone, we know the implication. If you are caught, they will deal with you. We know it. But women that kind of know the implication. But sometimes we do something in a way that it looks, fair and justice. It will, make him out. Sit down in Umuahia there, sit down in Lagos, sit down in Abuja. This is your country. Don't run away. Don't run. After this flood that happened yesterday, to me, to please before this flood that came in yesterday, they are assisting. If you come, since someone looking, all the Lagos is always dirty. The whole place, come to properly. You can make sense for Lagos State. You can work there and retire and be collecting pension self. Because state so that they will do their job. During Fᴜʀᴜ and Tinubu time, then you have been there for 5 years. Why can't you respect it and let it be effective again?
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead. Yes, I hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Nnamdi Kanu is then we are going to say that is the matter. Now, my own is about labor. Now, I am adding my own labor of complete federal promise Nigeria SMEs, Nigeria local manufacturers for order and other places. Crash by the small price, maybe to 200 naira. Crash do so other people. Then we should give us loan to enter the life family. But before you do that loan, I used to enter train from Umuahia to Enugu to Benue. No, to Nigeria outside position. Can us go back to the end of May last year as we talk. Let us go from there. So Nnamdi Kanu is my messiah. He's the second government.
Alright, call back if that was you, 0913-6000410. We can only take one more phone call, so we round things off.
My name is Samuel. I'm calling from Petri.
Welcome.
So, we start from the issue, the official of federal government who transfer it. Federal government is also important smuggling in Nigeria. For flood in Lagos State. The same way though the flood we are talking about will not find their way into the west that people are drinking. There are some areas that will not increase in Lagos State. Concerning the issue of contamination, that there are plans to import contaminated oil into Nigeria. Now we're hearing about it now. And somebody contaminated oil into this country, nothing will happen. NEPA tariff, I will blame Nigerians. Nigerians are bigger around salary alone. If they have made the issue of welfare secondary issue, they will have been the one to having
Look at all the phone calls that we can take for today. Let's look at WhatsApp for a bit and then you exclusively as you're alone on my own open mic for today. Let me start by commending forms. I would read it regardless of the platform. Just squandering money. Not that they even know how other countries are doing things. They just choose not to do it. From Afro Media. Thank you very much. We have a message here. An inauspicious democracy or not, what Nigerians want is the Sahel region, who have allegedly surrounded the country from our forest, are planning to violently invade and attack Nigeria from government. What are our government personnel doing about these dire security issues? God save our souls. Great job all stars as figurehead and become an executive and presidential as the constitution has empowered him. 774 local government areas in the political system. I have more recommendations. Now we talk of what amount to pay as minimum wage. Let every Nigerian worker, whether in his family, would eat. Thank you very much. I'm not able to take the rest of the messages. I appreciate you. I read this already on Facebook. Thank you very much for today. Removal, the pump price jumped from about 200 naira to a litre to 6, and now the government is paying billions of naira. CNG buses, on what roads would these CNG buses ply? As 75% of to 118 naira to 8. I sincerely apologize if I was unable to take your messages. Please bear with us. We have very limited time for large conversations, but not to worry. We have multiple shows across the day that would be able to tend to your opinions about these matters. And before we round off, I would like to once again remind you about the conversation that would be happening. Please turn on your post notification button as Mainland 19 or development. How can young people lend their voices to policy making? Development will be the topic of conversation today at 8 p.m. You join so that you can lend your voice as well. Even those of you who have contributions via radio, we can take it to social media. Let's take social media. Let's have conversations. That's Mainland FM. That's the handle on X. Have been making wave. Let's see how we can support them, and let's see how we can at Mainland FM. The topic: youth involvement in national development. My name is Sage Babalola. That's it for today. We're going to the news headline at 12 noon. Of course, you get the full bulletin. Don't go